Casey Ashmore back in the studio. We're talking about that sign. We're talking about not giving up the ship, and we're focusing on results. Results matter. Results matter, right? Because there's only a few things that you can deliver to a client, right? That's the results, the relationship, and the cost, right? Those are the things you give to a client. And you for damn sure better make sure that cost is way outweighed by the relationship and the results. And that's hard to do, right? That's hard to do when you're representing court-appointed indigent folks, right? Because they don't have the money for an attorney of their choice. So they got an attorney that the court selected for them. Next up on the wheel, right? So it's like rolling up, you got to put your dream team together. And it's like, in the mind of the client, they don't know how deep that bench is, right? They don't know how they're getting a superstar, they're getting a Michael Jordan, or they're getting the pick from the dodgeball when they were in 5th grade, right? The last slowest kid, the clumsiest kid, or are they getting Michael Jordan? They don't know that. And that's very hard to be thrown together like that and then start building that relationship and letting them know that you're going to be their Michael Jordan, right? You're going to be the superstar. You're not going to be the clumsy kid picked last in the dodgeball game in 5th grade. You're going to be the superstar, the rock star. You're going to help them steer through this 25 to 99 they got coming at them. Or is it multiple, right? Multiple life sentences coming at them. Whatever it is, right? Misdemeanor charges come. They got something coming at them, and it's going to work down their hope. It's going to work down their perseverance. And so talking about a client who did not give up hope, and I'll say one advantage for that client was incarcerated, had already done 189, 200 days, waiting for trial because of COVID and some other reasons. That allowed that client to be clean and sober, right, for 6 months. 6 months clean, right, was dealing with his feelings, right, was not able to turn to depressants like alcohol or stimulants like methamphetamine, cocaine, other things like that, crack, right? Stimulants that make you feel great until you're coming down. Then you got a depressant, right? So what eradicates hope and persistence is depression, right? Depressants are going to negate hope and perseverance. So this client, because of the fact that he was incarcerated and clean and sober, was able to maintain hope, was able to persevere. Now, I won't say that he wasn't having a hard time dealing with his feelings, right? He was, right? He was having a very hard time, right? We had an all-white jury. The only African-American people in the courtroom were my clients and his family sitting behind me. And that's where you can make a difference in, where people's lives matter to you, right? Is you got to be their superstar. You got to be their Jordan, right? You've got to help them deal with the feelings, the challenges, so they can keep persisting. And those are critical times, right? Where you got to encourage them not to give up hope. And you can be that rock, right? Don't give up hope. We're going to do this, and we're going to do it together. We're going to go down swinging. We're going to get our at-bat. And when a client either chooses to or is forced to in this situation, forced, right? Forced sobriety, you're in jail, you can't get your hands on anything that'll mind-numbing, substances that'll help deal with these emotions, and was able to stay focused, stay positive, right? Stay encouraged, and then things started happening, right? Because of persistence, right? You get a little momentum, right? Everybody's been in some scenario. Even if it's the dodgeball game back in the 5th grade, you've seen that scenario, right? We've seen it in sporting events. We've seen it in athletic events we've done in our own lives, even when we were children, right? You start getting a little momentum, and then what happens? you get the big momentum, you get the big push. It becomes a wave, it becomes unstoppable. And that unstoppableness is hope and perseverance. And that's what made the difference in that case, right? That client didn't give up the ship. We gained momentum. We got a little bit, then we got the big momentum, got the big wave, and we got a great result, right? We got a great result for somebody who dealt with their emotions. They faced those challenges one after another, right? Not with drugs and alcohol, not without dealing with the hard emotions and the realities of facing a life sentence, or maybe one of 5, right? Or 6 that could be stacked, right? So that means if they're stacked, so you got to do all of the first one and then half of the second one before you're eligible for parole. We're talking about you don't have enough years. That's really what it comes down to. How do you stay hopeful and persevere in that situation, right? So that's the focus of this. That's the focus of this video series, is so you know that in that situation you have to deal with one challenge after another. You have to do it with sobriety. You cannot deal with these pressures by escaping them through drugs and alcohol, which is a lot of these folks, that's how they got in this spot in the first place. Anyway, thank you so much for being a part of this. Questions, comments, I love them. Leave me a comment on any video platform you watch this on. Please like, subscribe, and share, and see you more from the studio coming up next.